Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. My name is Mobby, and this is my first impressions review of Warsaw. Warsaw is going to be released today, October 2nd, as I am uploading this video. This is a hardcore roguelike strategy game, and there's no beating around the bush on this one. It's going to be compared all over the place to a specific game, and that is Darkest Dungeon. And I have to say, a lot of similarities, a lot of differences. What are they? Is the game good? We're going to definitely get into that. So, as always, if you like what I do and you want to see more, please help out the channel by leaving a like, commenting, and of course subscribing. I do upload a lot of daily videos. Make sure to stay until the end of the video. I'll be showing you one whole mission that I did of me running around a map, fighting characters, and actually finishing a mission. So you'll be able to get a good idea of what the game has to offer. So we're going to be talking about the pricing, the story, the graphics, the audio, the gameplay, and some other noteworthy things I feel needs to be mentioned. So let's start off with the price. Now, I'm playing a review copy, so the game is not out yet. However, I'm going to go to the Steam page right now, and I'm going to see if there is a pre-order. There is no pre-order here, so I'm going to go ahead and give you my prediction from what I have played, letting you know what I think the game should be worth. Now, I don't know if it's going to be an early access game or a full release game, but I would say this game definitely, at the very, very minimum, is worth $24.99. And honestly, it should go all the way up to $39.99. Now, $39.99 is a huge range, like $15, right? But it all depends on how much you value this type of game. When I played Darkest Dungeon for the very first time, I got so much out of it. I would happily have paid $39.99. But I'm still getting into it. I'm only like 5 to 6 hours into it, so who knows, right? And I don't want to go further than that because I'm playing the review copy. There is a lot of stuff missing from the game, but they assured me that this is going to be in the release that you guys are going to be playing today. So some stuff that are missing are voice lines, some UI overhauls, some extra tiny add-ons that really make the game, that piece it all together. So keep that in mind as I'm reviewing in the footage you are seeing. Some stuff is going to be very, very similar to what you are going to be playing, but some of it, it's like, pre-done. So let's talk about the story of the game. It is, I think it was 1944. As soon as you start the game, you start the campaign, it throws you in and it gives you a setting of this. It's like a very realistic worldly setting. 1944. The the German forces are taking over Warsaw, and it's up to is Warsaw the place? Oh my god, I'm totally like screwing up the story here. But anyway, long story short, you are the leader of a sort of uprising rebel freaking organization, this tiny army, and it is your job to stop the evil forces from coming in and totally overtaking everything. This is going to be done over multiple missions, right? So that's pretty much the story. You in a ragtag group of just normal people. Sometimes you have veteran soldiers, you have nurses, you have just people wandering the streets, that type of deal. They all join you and they all have different personalities and different names and abilities, and we'll get into all of that soon. The graphics in this game are very well done. It kind of reminds me of like a Darkest Dungeon. However, it's not like Cthulhu occult type of deal. It's more grounded in, worldly setting. You are fighting in towns. You can see the paved roads. You have barriers. You have warriors. Sorry, you have like army men with like helmets. You can get real life guns, dogs, etc. So it's more like, it's grounded. Very grounded, and honestly the gameplay is very similar, that you could almost just reskin it. However, there are key differences which I will get into. So the graphics are really nice to look at. I like looking at everything. The only thing that is a little weird though when I played is the UI for graphics. You have to kind of like things are placed a little oddly, but hopefully it's fixed in the upcoming version you guys will be playing. Audio, it's a good mix of like joyfulness and despair at the same time. Now, what do I mean by that? When you're on a mission and you're battling and stuff, obviously the music is going to be ramping up and it's going to feel, stressful and dread. But then after you get through all that, because this game is a roguelike, there is permadeath, so it's made the music is there to make you feel like anxiety, like, oh my god, I don't want to lose everything. Should I just leave now so I lose all the resources and finish, fail the mission? Or do I hopefully go get the highest rewards of this mission possible, but then I can lose this character forever, which I've built up, and I made some stories of my own. But when you go into your little hub town, which is this building, it's like awesome little joyful music. So it's a really fun juxtaposition there, where it's like, oh yeah, it's nice looking at all your characters' bio sheets. You can go to the shop there and like, oh, I want to bring more bullets. It's all happy-go-lucky, and all of a sudden, doosh, you're in the war zone, baby. So the audio is pretty good. Gameplay. This is where the meat and potatoes reside, where it's boiling to a hot point, and this is where it's just okay. So I'll try to explain everything that you do and some of the key differences. First of all, it's very similar to Darkest Dungeon in the fact that you build up a team of characters up to, I think it's only for up to 4 people, and you go on a mission, and depending on the mission, you're either going to kill something, or you're going to retrieve something, or you're trying to get to one end or the other. So what happens is you pick a character, and each character is comprised of skills that you can put in different slots. And just like Darkest Dungeon, if you haven't played Darkest Dungeon, it's gonna feel really weird of me talking about this. I might not be explaining it well. This explanation coming up is assuming that you've played this type of game before, right? So we don't have to go too in deep with every little in-depth thing. So you choose out of the skills, and depending on where your character sits, because this is a strategic battle game, a strategic fight game where you run across the map, and you sometimes just get resources you can guess in the end, but you usually fight, right? So a character's attack or support works depending on where they are on the map during the battle screen. Now, the battle screen, it's not as simple as slot 1, 2, 3, and 4 from back to front. As a matter of fact, this has 8 slots. Front, back, which is 4-1, 4-2, or 4A, 4B if you want to say that. CA, CB, or like 3A, whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 slots. You can have, I think, up to 4. The enemy can have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They can have so many characters on the screen. Now, why are there so many things on the screen? Why are there so many spots? Strategic reasons. First of all, every empty spot can be filled up with something called a barrier. You can hide behind the barrier. That gives your character a little bit more of a cover for reduced damage. You can also, if you're in front of a barrier, you can't get pushed back from your position. Now, why are there different planes? Well, there's a new mechanic in this game called flanking. If you are on the first plane and they are on the second plane and you fire, think of it in real life. If you're in front of it and they have a barrier, it's kind of hard to hit them. You can only see maybe the top half. However, if you were on the backside here, you can flank and you can kind of shoot at an angle. So you can essentially bypass the flank. So that's why it's like that. You are able to move around wherever you want on there on your turn, and you can switch out character positions. So that's a key difference from Darkest Dungeon. More placement slots. And it's cool. Some characters can actually just place barriers down. And depending on where you are and what skill you put in, if you're in the front 2 positions, you have a skill that maybe only hits the back 2 positions. So you have to move your characters around, reposition them, put the skills on, and go from there. Another huge difference in combat from Darkest Dungeon is turn order. Now, this is actually really cool. I like it this way a lot. I think it's better than the Darkest Dungeon's battle system. So depending on how many people you bring into a battle, that's how many turns that you get going back and forth. There's no speed or anything. It's who you choose at your person on time. So you bring 4 people. On the top, there is like 4 little icons there. And however the enemy has, that's how many icons there. So I'm going to give you an example. We have 4. The enemy has 6. We go first. We choose a character. And then, so we go 1, 2, 3. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4. The enemy, let's just say we kill none of them. They have 2 guys left. They go twice in a row. So you might be saying, God, that's so cheap. You can just choose whatever character you want to attack at once. they balanced it out. You can essentially use a character more than once per turn, but they have a stamina or action points. And every time you use it, and so far what I'm seeing, every character starts with 3. So everyone starts with 3, and during a turn, whenever you use it, it goes down by 1 as a tick. There are cons of using the same person too many times, especially if you're on the offensive. If you're on the defensive, some characters are really good, and I'll show you some examples. So let's say you shoot with a character and you like what he has. You fire once, you hit a guy, like, oh man, I'm going to use him again. These guys are hurt. I don't want them to fight right now. Or that doesn't matter, right? Okay, this guy has the best chance of killing something. However, if you attack again twice on the second turn, turn 1 shoot, 100% got him. Second turn, your accuracy goes down by a good amount. And then as it goes down even further, all the way down to 0, you lose more and more benefits. When do you get your stamina / action points back? At the end of the round. So after 4 actions are taken here and 6 actions are taken here, it's over. Next round, everyone gets +1 more stamina. So you have to balance out moving your characters around on the 8 different planes. You have to figure out who is in the correct position to attack an enemy. You have to see the stamina cost. Like, this guy does an AoE, I can kill the second guy, but then the front guy won't die, or I can miss because I have almost no stamina. So should I go ahead and use my back character who has 3 stamina and try to shoot him, even though they have a low chance of killing him themselves? Or should I just use 3 stamina, 3 turns on this one character to medkit everyone? So there's a huge fine balance, and I think this game has a lot going for it. The strategy is a lot more than Darkest Dungeon. Darkest Dungeon, I feel, is almost like an RNG fest. This a little kind of is, but more so over there. It's like, oh, I hope someone doesn't die. Oh, no. You know, it just, I had more fun with this. And, you know, and I'm not knocking Darkest Dungeon. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say that a lot. I'm just calling DD. I'm not knocking DD, but this one I just feel has more going for it in terms of strategy and the different types of battles you can have. You can really feel like powerful running through some of these stages here. So I've covered positioning. I've covered the types of characters. Well, the types of characters do vary. There are a couple of units, and of course you can upgrade them. One big thing I need to mention also is you are on a resource limit. Not only, like in Darkest Dungeon, you just activate a move depending on where you are. You can activate it or you can't activate it. When you heal, there's no mana or anything like that. When you attack an enemy with a gun or a sword, that's it. In this game, you are primarily using guns, and there are a couple of different types of ammo that you are going to be running through and you collecting and bartering for. There's like light ammo, heavy ammo, they call it short and long, I think, and then there is like explosive ammo. Some characters' abilities, well, almost all the abilities. Luckily, the med character, when you use a bandage, it only costs you a stamina point, so that's really good. However, when you use like an ammo attack, when you fire a gun, depending on the type of weapon, you are using ammo. So, for instance, let's just say a basic shot. It's maybe 6 ammo. And then if you use a giant RPG that does a sweeping attack, let's say it uses 8 explosion or something like that, you can only carry a certain amount with you, because as you prepare to go into a mission, you pretty much have to select your loadout. Same thing as Darkest Dungeon. Oh, how much bandages do I want to bring with me? How many torches? In this game, ooh, I have a lot of characters with the big guns. I should take more long ammo than short ammo. If they run out of ammo, you're not going to be attacking. So it's really crazy. And what's cool about this is missions don't take nearly as long as DD. So that's really good, or at least from what I played so far. So you're going to be running around the map, killing enemies. When you kill them, you're going to get resources and stuff like that, ammo and stuff. I haven't even talked about how you progress the map. Oh, this game has so much going for it. And honestly, it's like filling up my mind with how much I need to be explaining, because it's just really good. I know it sounds weird. Okay, so that's it. You got resources that you get from killing enemies and caches on the map. You grab it, it goes to your inventory. You have to decide what to keep or not. Some other things besides ammo that you're going to be putting in your inventory is going to be like overworld abilities, like flares and compasses. Now, to give an example on what they do, when you play a map, it's not as easy as going through a tile and walking through and seeing if an event occurs, like an enemy battle or something. You are overhead. There are little circles that represent your character, and you are moving along the map. It's an overworld looking on a map. You have free reign to move around wherever you want, and the goal is whatever it is. Let's just say the goal is to get to one area to another. For every mission, there is a time limit. I say time limit, but it's more of a resource depletion bar at the very top. Is it top or bottom? The more you move on the map, you can see it depleting. If it hits 0, you're out of resources. You fail the mission. So there are some ways to make the situation a little more easier. First of all, you can use a flare. You activate a flare, which is another item you keep in your inventory, which takes the space of like other stuff like ammo. You activate it. There is a big radius around your circle that shows you, hey, there's something over here, there's something over there. Ammo cache here, enemy over here. What do you want to go towards? Or we can avoid them all together. And then there's the compass. You activate it, and then it makes it so whenever you move, the bar gets depleted even slower. So that's very, very, very important to have. You don't know how many missions I failed just by this much because I barely ran out. So I'm telling you now, compass is really, really powerful. All right, what else do we talk about? The home base. Let's talk about the home base. So before you pick a mission, you're chilling there, and you can see all of your characters. You can click on them. You can see their names. You can see what they like, their dislikes. And there's also other areas like the bartering area where you don't really use... Okay, there is a sort of money system, but it's not called money. I forgot what it's called. It's just like general resources that you use to trade back and forth. So you can go there, you can sell items, and you can buy items and guns. Speaking of guns, character... so much. Okay, so character skills are obtained through weapons and their overall class ability. I'm going to give you an example. There's a medic character. She has like, she has a basic shot depending on her gun. You could switch out the gun, and that gives her more skills that you can switch out for one of the 4 slots that you take in. So you switch out the guns, and then you switch out the characters as well. You switch out their weapons. There's a lot going for it. So I've been talking about this game for a while, and I think that covers most of the differences. So how do you win the game? Is there an end game? The goal right now is to finish these missions, get super strong, and essentially, like I said from the story, stop the invasions. The more that you fail missions, there is a progress bar at the end that tells you, hey, this is the percentage of the overall uprising. Don't let it hit 0 or else it's game over. So go as far as you can, see how far you get. Warsaw is a very interesting take on the hardcore roguelike dungeon. And I think it has a very good chance of being one of the classics. I already considered Darkest Dungeon to be a classic. A lot of people streamed it. A lot of people named their characters after viewers. And it's just a really inclusive game. It's really not hard to get into. And it's fun to look at. This game, I don't know how many people are going to enjoy the setting, really. It's just a war setting. You know, Darkest Dungeon's a fantasy one, which is kind of fun. But if you can look past that, if you don't like it, if you can look past it, the gameplay, the customization, it's all still there. It's really good. I do enjoy it a lot. So, I don't want to go too overboard. It's almost been 20 minutes. I'm going to end it here. If you guys enjoyed, leave a like. It helps a lot. If you haven't already, sub for daily videos. I think I'm definitely, by the way, if you guys are interested, I'm going to do a Let's Play of this. I don't know if I'm going to do it just on the channel, on the YouTube channel, or if I'm going to stream it. But either way, follow me on my stream down below, Twitch channel, and subscribe to my secondary YouTube channel. That's where I put the long sessions cut up in chunks. Now, I did say I was going to show you an uncut mission that I did. So here it is. I'm going to be killing a boss. The goal of this mission was to defeat an elite soldier. So I'm running through, finding him, and killing him. So I would love to know your guys' opinion on Warsaw. Are you interested in it? Did you play it already and then look at this review? Why don't you want to play if you don't? And are there any mechanics that you think are great, but then some are terrible that they've changed? Anyways, thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. and I'll see you guys next time.
Halt!
Trzeba to opatrzyć.
Hierher!
No i fajno!
Teraz mnie. Ich gebe Feuer. Halt! Weg!
Trzeba to opatrzyć.
Ich gebe Feuer. Los. Teraz mir.
Trzeba to opatrzyć. Trzeba to opatrzyć.
Los.